Hey folks, I'm just making a quick video on something I think is kind of interesting. I rarely do videos, but if something comes up that I think is worthwhile and YouTube's a good way of communicating, I'll do that. So like many of us, we have plunge routers and we want to mount it on a table and it's sort of sitting upside down, and it becomes hard at making the adjustments. So there's a whole bunch of different ways of doing this. There's some commercial products out there, router lifters and things. So I just thought I'd show you what I've done. This is going to be a very rough video because I'm not going to edit it. I'm just going to put it together and see how we go. Okay, so just get the camera down here. I'm hoping the camera's working. So I've got this router. This is a fairly no-names router I bought. It's a half-inch shank, which is, I think that's an important thing, having a half-inch shank, diesel motor and variable speed. Like most of these plunge routers, you have a depth gauge there, which you can basically set against a stopper, and that will lock in, and you can then adjust the stopper and then go down. So the idea is actually to replace this stopper and gauge with a threaded screw to allow you to make adjustments. And I'll show you, it doesn't take much. So what I've got here is the base. So we have the base, and this is going to go together like that. And this will sit down here at the bottom. Replace this stopper. One of my goals with doing this is that the actual router is not modified, so if any time down this track I want to sell it, I can just put it all back together, back originally. The other thing is that I want to be able to have it portable. There's a lot of devices used as router lifters that are embedded into the table, and if you take the router out, you kind of lose that functionality. The idea is this: I can turn this upside down and it'll still have the same functionality. So what I did, take this out, move that, move the stopper, and help if I learn how to use a screwdriver, and the whole bearing, get the bit out of there, okay, put away. So threaded rod. Now if you want a really fine adjustment, you can get a fine threaded rod for about $11. This is just a standard threaded rod from Bunnings and that. I actually drilled a small hole and put a small tap screw into there, so I could actually screw a screw into there to lock the bearing in place. And this was just a nut that I machined down to fit this shape here. So the idea is that will now locate into that hole there, and then I can tighten this and screw that in like that, and then that'll turn there. For the bottom part, I need to have a washer there just to raise it up a bit. And what I'm going to do is, once again, another nut I just on a grinder turn down, so it's, well, not turn down, just grind it down till it's round. Goes up on there. This will go here, and the bearing basically is just actually this is off a pair of inline rollerblades that I had years ago, and I save bearings and things like that. You just never know. And I just two aluminium pieces and a piece of wood just as a spacer, and that goes like that. This will go like that, and then this will go on top of here like so. This sits on there. Washer on the bottom. I don't need that washer for the time being, I don't think. And a screw to go in the bottom of that to locate. So once it's in place, looks like that. Fairly simple. The main thing is that you've got a bearing in here to take the lateral load. Otherwise, it's just going to be nearly impossible to loosen and tighten. But now it loosens and tightens quite well. Screw it down and you can adjust. And it's got a decent amount of, even with a coarse thread like this, a standard thread, you've got a lot of accuracy as far as adjusting. What you can do is you can extend that thread through, so drilling through the plate and leaving a hole there and putting, say, a hex head bolt in that end, and then you can adjust from this side as well, from the top side as well, which a lot of people do. I haven't done that at this moment. I'm quite happy with just adjusting from underneath. Once you've adjusted, you lock it into place, and it's going to work fine. Then you unlock it and then unscrew it, and it'll come out again or go in again. You can buy the equivalent commercially, but like, I don't know, $100 or something. And I thought, well, this is not that hard to do. You do have to have a few tools, a drill and files and things like that, but it does work. So I hope this has been helpful for you, to give you just an idea of some of the things you can kind of save a bit of money on.